Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, partners, colleagues, everyone, wherever you are around the world. It is so good to be back. It feels like forever since I've been able to address you all with what's actually happening with Global UniPay. Now, in the past, we usually go and run a opening up an account and verification webinar, but you asked, we delivered a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember exactly who it was that put through the suggestion, but for us to go and do a back office function / tour training sort of video, and here we are today. So without further ado, can I please get some pluses in the chat if A, you can hear me, B, you can see me, and or C, one of the two, that you're excited to actually see how the new back office within Global UniPay actually goes and works, so that you have all the knowledge that you need in order to navigate it without any issues whatsoever. 1, 2, 3. I've got some threes. I've got some pluses. Beautiful. Awesome. Next slide, please. Now, as you may be aware, my name is Aidan Ward. I'm currently living here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm the project manager assistant for Global UniPay. I'm co-host of the Life with the Brothers of Everrich podcast that I go and do with both Raymond Waitai and Sam Karga, both Australian council members. I'm an agent in the Everrich Partner Program with aspirations to be a president one day. And I'm also a member of the Generals of the World for Peace Association, because philanthropy knows no bounds. Next slide, please. Awesome. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need to do is log on to www.gtinet.ch. It's the same website that we used in order to go and set up the account. But today we're going to imagine that we've got everything all set up, everything's been verified, and we can navigate the platform without any hassles. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is log on to that website. Second, enter in the email address that you registered with Global UniPay. It should still be the same as the one that you use with EvoRich. And then, of course, put in your account password that you chose, and then click the sign in button. Next slide. But next slide, please. Hey, there we go. Awesome. So without further ado, now I haven't gone and blurred some parts of my own portfolio just to go and keep this as authentic as we possibly can. We're going to go and break this down into 4 key components for today's webinar. Number 1, how to go and navigate your profile settings. Number 2, how to go and open up a business account and link that to your personal Global UniPay. Number 3 will be the biggest part of the component, which will be the main dashboard. This is where we're going to have a look at each of the asset portfolios. We're going to look at the crypto side, so the digital assets. We're going to look at bank accounts as well, and setting up a bank account within Global UniPay, and of course how the cards go and function as well. And then capping off, we'll go and just duck into the settings component, which I've labeled number 4. So next slide, please. Awesome. So first and foremost, what you want to go and do for your profile settings is click the space where it goes and actually has your name that you can see as I've gone and pictured there. That will allow the drop-down menu to actually present the menu, and it's really user accessible, and pretty straightforward. You'll go and have your email address that you've gone and registered with Global UniPay. You'll also have your unique user ID, which is so very important, especially when we're pairing the Unitex with Global UniPay, as well as EvoRich transactions from the back office there into Global UniPay as well. So you need to have your unique user ID either memorized, or if you don't have it memorized, then go straight through here and it'll pop straight up. Number 3 component is my profile, but that'll be part of the settings component of this presentation. And of course, any correspondence that you've gone and had with the support team, any support tickets, any queries that you've gone and had, any discussions about what alternative services we do go and provide as well within Global UniPay, which we'll get to a little bit later on. The big one with that would be, setting up an IBAN in either Liechtenstein or Lithuania, or if you need some help with updating your details, of course, if those go and change. We've always gone and said that you need to go and notify us as quick as possible should any of your details go and change. Next slide, please. Awesome. So we've already gone through one part of this presentation. Let's go into the second one. All right. So we're going to go and show all you entrepreneurs out there, outside of EvoRich, those who've got business accounts that you're wanting to go and have funds go in and out of. This part is for you. So what you want to go and do is in the top right-hand corner of the main page, when you log into Global Unit Pay, you would have gone and seen a few slides beforehand, that actually goes and says open business account. You can't miss it. So you click that button and it'll take us to the next component. Next slide, please. Awesome. Now, this is a really, really easy process. It might sound a little bit difficult from first glance, but here we're going to go and make this as basic and streamlined as possible so that you know exactly what's required. Okay, so number one, you've got to go and indicate if you are just a representative of a business or if you're the company owner. Very important. Next, what you want to go and do is enter in the business details. So whether that's a sole trader and you're under your own name, or whether that's a company enterprise, then this is where you'd go and enter that in. Part 3 is that you need to go and enter in the tax identification number that is linked to your business account. Obviously, for sole traders, that will be the same one that you've gone and entered in for your personal account. But for this, you'll need to go and provide that tax information. Okay. The next part, you're going to go and enter in the registered address for the company. And you would have gone and done that when you set up your business/company, outside of Global Unit Pay. You'd know what your registered address for the company/business is. Okay. Number 5 is that you select the operating currency out of the fiat currencies that we have available. Now, of course, like we've mentioned, this is going to go and change later on down the track. Currently, we've got the euro, we've got Swiss franc, and we've got USD. For example purposes, I've gone and selected USD, so that because that would be the main currency that I would go and operate out of, if that makes any sense. But if you're in the European Union, you'll know what currency you want to go and choose to go and do. That's completely up to yourself. Number 6 is that you need to read and acknowledge this written disclaimer. And I'll read it out for you now so that you're completely aware, all right? Because the text is a little bit small. It says, you are about to open up a business account. Please note that you'll be required to deposit $2,000 to initiate the account opening process. The onboarding fee will be deducted upon final completion of your application review, and it will depend on the company's risk categorization. So not everyone's going to qualify for a business account. It is coming down to the KYB team. And the KYB team is very similar to the KYC team. The only difference is instead of know your customer being KYC, this is know your business. Now, I've gone and included the fees as well, because they're going to go and be different for each currency. For example, if you chose USD, like I have, then it'll be $2,000 US. If you chose Swiss franc, it will be 1,500 Swiss franc. And if it's euro, then it'll be 1,500 euro as well. Which I want to go and make sure that all fees, all throughout this presentation, were noted, so that there's not going to be any surprises per se if this is something that you wanting to go and do within your Global Unit Pay account. After you've gone and done that and made sure that you do have the funds in your personal Global Unit Pay account prior to doing this, and once you've gone and acknowledged that and it's something that you want to go and do, fantastic. Click the big green button down the bottom that says continue to business profile. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is your business platform. This is going to look very, very similar to your personal platform, which we'll go and get into very shortly, straight after this, okay? Now, I've gone and made note that if you don't go and have the money in the account, as I've gone and done here, for argument's sake, it says you have $2,000 amount pending payment for the business account activation, which, like I said, you will need to make sure that you do have the funds in your personal global unit pay account in order to actually proceed any further with the verification. So yeah, just something to go and note. Now, where I've gone and highlighted number 2, okay, it comes down to three easy options. Yeah, yes, Dennis, you raise your hand. I'll come back to you later on, mate. You can go and add funds. You can go and exchange between funds, and you can also go and transfer outside of Global Unit Pay. Okay, cool. Next slide, please. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main dashboard. Okay, we went and saw it right at the very start, that you have the adding and top up, as I've gone and pictured with the big plus sign there. For exchange, that is swapping between currencies within your Global Unit Pay platform. Then you'll go and see the little circle arrows there. That means exchange. And of course, transfer, whether that's to another Global Unit Pay account, or if that's to outside of your Global Unit Pay account, then that's the button that you'll go and click. Now we're going to go into into all three as well, because there are going to be different fees and different charges and different parts of the operation in order to go and have them successful. So let's say, for example, we've gone and clicked top up for euro. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've gone and clicked top up, and we've gone and come straight away to this page here. Now, this is for, you can go and do it through bank transfer, or you can go and do it through credit card. Right here, what you want to go and do is you want to enter in the deposit amount. Really easy, right? It makes sense. So you're going to enter in the deposit amount. For argument's sake, I've gone and entered in 100. The next part of the component, you'll go and click, I confirm that I have read the terms of use and I wish to purchase Quantum coins. Now, Quantum coins, I'd like to go and call them fluid coins. They're basically tokens that can go and be exchanged for different sort of currencies that we go and integrate into Global Unit Pay. And that's actually how we can go and have the different currencies all throughout, which I think is super cool. It's the reason why this is a blockchain-based payment gateway, which is so cool. Sorry, don't mind me. It always goes and gets me really, really excited, really amped up, because like this is the way of the future. Now, I will go and note that with each of these top-ups and different currencies are going to go and incur different sort of charges, which will be on top of your deposit amount that you've selected. So for euro, it's 25 euros. That's a flat fee. For US, it is $45 US, flat fee. And the same with Swiss franc, $45, which I've gone and pictured down the bottom there. So you want to go and make sure that whatever you're actually depositing from the bank outside of Global Unit Pay, that there are the corresponding funds to include both the deposit amount and, of course, the fee amount as well. Next slide, please. Cool, awesome. So once we've gone through that, we'll get taken straight away to this particular page. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to provide you the Global Unit Pay payment details for you to go and do the transfer from your outside financial institution. Okay, so you'll go and enter in the IBAN, you'll enter in the SWIFT, you'll put in the beneficiary name or the beneficiary address, depending on what your bank actually goes and asks. But you must include your unique user ID as the transfer reference, or it won't be processed. Can I please get some 2s in the chat just to make sure that everyone is across that? You need to make sure that your unique user ID is in the transfer reference. Awesome. Dallas, love your enthusiasm, man. You're always here. Love it. Next slide, please. Cool. So now that we've gone through bank transfer, we're going to go into credit card, which will probably be the primary method of topping up, I would imagine. I know that it is for myself. I know that for everybody else that I've gone and spoken to about Global Unit Pay, it's always credit card. But of course, we do have to include bank transfer just in case, because there's always one. Now, same sort of thing. We're going to enter in the deposit amount. Okay. The deposit amount is just going to be the exact same that we went and did in the bank transfer part. You're going to go and enter in your credit card details. This are the credit card details for the financial institution outside of Global Unit Pay. So for whenever we're topping up, we're always providing information of the outside institution to go into Global Unit Pay. Cool? Beautiful. So you'll do the card number followed by your name or the name on the card, expiration date, and of course your CCV code, which would be on the back if you're not aware. And you, once again, need to go and confirm that you've read the terms of use. I would strongly advise to go and read the terms of use. And you only need to go and read it once, but that confirmation is going to go and be popping up a lot throughout this presentation. So it would be probably in your best interest to go and just familiarize yourself, just so that you're not going to go and get caught off guard. Now, with the euro charge, as you can see, it is 6.5% top up. That's the fee that will be on top of the deposit amount. So in this case, it's $6.50. If you were to go and do $1, then it would be $1.06.5, if that makes any sense. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, of course, those fees, the 6.5% is for all currency. So that's for US, that's for Swiss franc, and that's for euro. I just want to go and clarify that. That's 6.5% over every currency. Now, exchanging, we're going to go into the exchange, which was the circular arrow that, looks like you're doing basically a swap. Now, you want to go and select which currency you would like to exchange funds from, followed by the desired currency that you want to go and exchange into. Okay, so the fee amount that you'll go and get all throughout is going to go and be only 1%. Okay, so 1% of the euro, 1% of USD, and 1% of Swiss franc as well. Okay, so we've gone and selected the portfolio or the currency that we want to go and swap from, then into, and then the fee is going to be into the currency that you're exchanging into, in which case this is USD. If it was the other way around, it would be in euro. Once you've gone and entered in the amount and you've noted the fee as well, which will go and be added on top of the exchange amount, then just go and hit exchange. Very cool. Awesome. Next slide, please. Lovely. Okay, so we're nearly done this first part. The transfer of assets internally between Global Unit Pay. Now, if or when this does go and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we have EvoRich partners primarily using Global Unit Pay as the platform of choice, this is going to be super beneficial, because it will allow leaders to go and transfer funds into their downline or upline or what have you, whereas in the past it was always going to go and be subjected to fees. With Global Unit Pay accounts, there are no fees, only for transferring between one Global Unit Pay account into another, which is pretty amazing, right? Can I get some 8s in the chat if you think that it's amazing? It's just another example of this company making sure that we get to go and keep more of our wealth for ourselves, rather than going to the big cats and the big dogs. Lovely. Dallas, on the money again. Lovely. Fantastic. So what you want to go and do is you want to go and select the currency you wish to transfer. All right. So you can go and do from here USD, euro, Swiss franc, up to you. From there, you're going to go and enter in the amount that you would like to go and send. And then after you've gone and done that, you will go and put in either the registered email for the recipient, the mobile phone number, or the unique user ID. I would recommend either email or USD. The user ID. I almost said USD. So many USDs. Yeah, the receiving email or the user ID. Reason being is just to go and avoid any confusion with country codes and formats of mobile numbers. It would probably make more sense to just go and do either the email or the unique user ID. One, everyone knows their email. You can't go and misspell that. Or two, with the unique user ID, it's only about 6 characters long, which is going to go and save you so many more headaches. All right. I can already see it happening. And then, of course, if you want to go and enter in a comment, you don't have to, but if you would like to for your own reference, you'll see why later on in the presentation. Next slide, please. Lovely. Awesome. So this one's a little bit, this is going to be a little bit more trickier. Okay. It's going to be broken down into 3 steps. And the reason being is to go and account for, SEPA transfers and also SWIFT transfers, which if you're not terribly too familiar with the difference between, I will go through that very, very shortly. Now, let's start off with SEPA, okay? So SEPA stands for Single European Payment Area, and these are for financial accounts, bank accounts that are within a certain amount of country. They're in a certain area, and a SEPA transfer is within one transfer into another as well as out. You're being within that area of European countries. Not all of Europe, I believe, is under the SEPA umbrella. So you do have to go and make sure, and you'll see the difference between SEPA and SWIFT very shortly. With SWIFTs, this is for international transfers. This is how we can go and have funds from, say, Russia being able to go into Australia, is because Australia goes and has SWIFT. We're not under the SEPA umbrella, obviously. So therefore, we do have our own SWIFT numbers, which every single bank actually goes and has. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Yes? Fantastic. Awesome. So we're starting off with SEPA. We're going to go and select the asset that we're transferring from and entering in the amount. Okay, so with your, if you're doing a SEPA transfer, it will only be for euro. If you're doing an international transfer, it'll be euro, Swiss franc, and USD. Completely up to you. With you're then going to go and enter the bank account number or the IBAN. And then, of course, the SWIFT, the BIC, or the ABA number. For Australia, we've got BSBs as well. That also comes under the ABA / BIC number. Okay. Then, of course, we're going to go and put in transfer details, references, and comment. Doesn't have to be your unique user ID for this particular one. You can go and put in whatever reference you need to go and make it easier for people to go and track down later on in the piece. Okay, even if it is your own bank account, that way you can go and have a look and say, okay, well, this is the reference, this is the transaction. Fantastic, awesome. Just in case it goes and pops up with something that you don't necessarily recognize in your bank statement, especially if it's the first transaction that you've gone and done, or the first withdrawal from your Global Unit Pay into your financial institution's bank account. Okay. Then, of course, you're going to go and enter in the beneficiary details. This is just your full name, or sorry, the person who you're sending it to's full name, address, city, postcode. That's just for reference, so that their bank actually knows that, okay, this is a legitimate transfer. This is the registered address to this particular bank account. And then you're not going to go and have any exclamation marks and question marks saying, please explain. Okay. I think I explained that pretty much full on. Next slide, please. Cool. Awesome. So once you've gone and done your beneficiary details, all right, you do have the option to go and save the beneficiary. If this is going to go and be someone who, or a bank account that you're going to go and transfer to regularly, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's yourself, whichever, I would strongly recommend that you go and save this beneficiary details just so that it goes and makes your life easier in the piece. That way you'll have sort of like a beneficiary address book. And you can just go and say, okay, well, this particular bank account, I don't have to go through all of these details all over again. That's going to go and save you so much more time, so much energy, and that's what we're all here for, right? Not just diversifying and maximizing and leveraging our money resources, but also our time resources and our energy that we have throughout the day. Now, you want to go and provide, like I said, the personal details of the recipient's bank account. This is to verify funds sent to the correct location. Number 5 have been all over. Number 6, once again, it pops up again, the terms of use. If you haven't gone and read it now. Make sure that you go and confirm that you have read it. And then from there, just note the different fees. So for every transfer, it is a flat fee of 30 euros. For Swiss franc, it's going to go and be 30 Swiss franc, or it's going to be 30 USD. Okay, so it's just a flat 30 of the amount that you've gone and, of the asset that you've gone and selected. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, it wouldn't be a 2021 payment gateway without digital assets. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. You can go and see Ethereum. You can go and see Bitcoin. There are some others as well, which is super exciting, and there's going to be more to come. I won't say what just yet. That's not a me sort of conversation to go and have, but the news and the information will come out when it comes out. I'm super pumped. So let's go and add a few more options to make our global UnitPay portfolio a little more diverse. Let's click Add Digital Asset to see what's available. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, I just want to go and make you aware that with that example prior, I'd already got and added Ethereum and Bitcoin to my asset portfolio, or my digital asset dashboard, sort of. But if this is your first time, all you're going to go and see is the Add Digital Asset button. Okay, you won't go and see the Bitcoin, you won't see Ethereum. It is available. All you need to do is just click the Add Digital Asset, and you'll get taken to this particular page. And you'll go and see, you're able to go and have a USDC wallet, you're able to go and have Ethereum wallet, you're able to have a Bitcoin wallet, and also Tether wallet, which is super cool. Oh, let's get some more pluses in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Like, how cool is this? This is amazing. Who'd have thought a payment gateway would go and have digital assets? And we're in 2021, and this is only the beginning of, these digital wallets and these digital payment gateways. It's so cool. It's awesome. And this is in our portfolio as well for all you World Crew holders. Cha-ching. Awesome. And as always, once you've gone and selected which wallets that you're going to go and add, then just go and hit I confirm that I've read the terms of use and click Add New. Simple. Next slide, please. Lovely. So now that we've gone and added everything, what you'll go and see is that on the left-hand column matches the exact same. It's kind of like a snapshot of the digital assets that are available that you've gone and decided to go and add, which goes and pairs directly with the main screen as well. Completely up to you which one you want to go and use. They both work the exact same. But you'll see that we've gone and added all the digital assets that are available. Those are our wallets. And we can go ahead and top them up, swap them, send them, receive them, withdraw, whichever, okay? And we're going to go and get through each and every single one of those options very soon. So for argument's sake, let's go and select Bitcoin, all right? It's the one on everybody's lips. It's the main cryptocurrency, or the first cryptocurrency. Let's not go and steal its thunder. Next slide, please. Lovely. Awesome. So we're going to go into the buy option, and you can go and buy because Global UnitPay is a derivative through BitNUC. Now, a little bit about BitNUC is that They are a Bitcoin distributor. Okay, so they've actually gone and provided sort of like a marketplace for Bitcoin, and that's how they've come into prominent fame, which is really, really interesting. When I first went and read about them, I was like, wow, that's so cool. So it's an absolute pleasure to actually go and have, well, it's an absolute pleasure to be able to piggyback off the infrastructure that they've gone and built as well, and you'll see why. Now, note that the options to manage your digital asset, you can buy via Global Unit Pay, sell at market value. We will get to that. Send and receive from other digital wallets, and you just have to go and select which currency you'd like to go and buy your chosen digital asset from. So whenever you're buying any of the digital assets, you need to make sure that you've got the funds already in your Global Unit Pay account. Okay, so for argument's sake here, I can go and buy $3.20, well, sorry, 3.21 euros of a Bitcoin. Won't be much, but that's what's available in my my portfolio. So that's the maximum that I can go and do, right? Now, this is super, super cool. All right. You set the limit. What do I mean by that? I hear you say. Well, you actually select the price that you are willing to go and pay for Bitcoin. How cool is that? You put in the limit. So if you think, and all you crypto traders out there and those who go and look at the charts every single day, if you think that, say, Bitcoin's going to go down to 26,000 US, right? You put in 26,000 US. And so long as you have the funds in your Global Unit Pay account, as soon as that Bitcoin goes and drops to 26,000 US, boom, it will automatically go and buy it for you. How amazing is that? It puts us in control of what sort of assets that we want to go and have, and it automatically goes and does it. I've heard some stories where in the past people have gone and missed out on some lucrative trading options because they were asleep. The market went and dropped, they missed their opportunity, and then very shortly after it went and skyrocketed up again, not just within crypto but also in forex. And yeah, this allows you to go and be in control of what wealth you're actually adding to your own portfolio. That is amazing. Next slide, please. Awesome. Now we're going to go into the sell option, and this is just as cool, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you want to go and select which currency you'd like the asset to go and be paid in: Euro, US, or Swiss franc. You go and nominate the amount, the quantity of your chosen digital asset is to be sold. So if, say, for example, we were really lucky on the buy option and we went and got 10 Bitcoin for $260,000, right? We got that. So that's in our portfolio already. And we want to go and capitalize off the fact that over, X amount of weeks, Bitcoin's gone and skyrocketed up to 46,000. All right. Just for argument's sake, what we go and do here is we go and select the amount to go and sell. Okay. And then there is such thing as a market order. Okay. So your sell price is determined by the market value. Therefore, it's subject to the rises and falls. Subsequently, the sell value that is offered is only available for 15 seconds before it refreshes again, which is once again amazing, because if you don't think, or sorry, if you think that something's going to go, up from its value, then you can just keep on refreshing and keep on refreshing and keep on refreshing and keep on refreshing and keep on refreshing every 15 seconds until you find a price that you're okay with, and then boom, sell. And which is the big green button down the bottom. You can't miss it. That is incredible. And that goes for Ethereum, that goes for Tether, that goes for any of the other cryptocurrencies that we go and have integrated into our platform down the track. You almost got it out of me. I'm not going to go and say. Next slide, please. Awesome. Now we should be all familiar with how to go and send and how to go and receive, right? I think I've gone into receiving digital assets. Yeah, receiving digital assets. All right. I think I've missed send. Ensure the amount to be received meets the minimal transaction threshold. Okay, so for Bitcoin, it is 0.0015 is the minimum deposit amount of a Bitcoin. Okay, any lower than that, it's going to go and be declined. The deposit fee amount, because there are always fees, it is 0.0005. So if you deposit 0.0015, you will be credited 0.010. Does that make sense? So the
Aidan, could you please go back and repeat the whole thing? The minimum amount and the commission amount.
Sure. So the minimum amount is 0.0015 of a Bitcoin. The fee amount that we go and charge is 0.0005 of a Bitcoin. So if you deposit 0.0015 Bitcoin, you will be credited 0.010 Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Sorry, guys, it's got a little bit confusing. My apologies. And then, of course, all you need to go and do from there is just go and click copy for the wallet address, or if you've got a phone with a QR code, then you can go and take a picture, whether it's SegWit or whether that's Legacy, whichever applies to you. Next slide, please. Now, I want to just go and reiterate on that previous slide that Ethereum, USDC, and USDT, so Tether, do not go and incur any fees. It is only Bitcoin that goes and charges the 0.0005. Okay, beautiful, awesome. Now, Global Unit Pay dashboard. This is what we're going to go and do with the IBAN. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what an IBAN is, this is your international bank account number. Whenever you would have gone and heard that we have bank accounts available for members of Global Unit Pay, and you can go and see that option right there to actually go and open. Now, it's not that you have a specific branch that you can go over into Liechtenstein or Lithuania or Lithuania and say, this is my bank physically in the flesh, right? This is sort of like a digital account that you go and have with a specific number that you'll be able to go and do all your transfers, all your payments from and into, of course. All right, so we're going to go and scroll down past the digital assets that we went and covered just before. And because in that main dashboard, you will need to go and scroll down. It is very, very large. And there are a few options which we're very, very close to actually getting through to. So scroll down straight past the digital assets. You'll see this little icon here, which goes and says, open your unlimited bank account. And we're going to go and click that button. Next slide, please. Cool. Now we're getting back into the SEPA and SWIFT bank accounts that I was talking about before, right? So you want to go and select the currency for the new IBAN. Number one, Euro is available for both SEPA and SWIFT transfers, whereas, like I said before, USD and Swiss franc are only eligible for SWIFT. So for SEPA accounts, you have the option for Lithuania as the country of issue. Note that it will only allow SEPA, which is that region of Europe that I mentioned before. But for all currencies with SWIFT transfers, you will select Liechtenstein for the issuing country of account. So you want to go and select the issuing country. You're going to go and put in your IBAN name, so the name that you want the bank account to be registered under. And then you're going to go and once again agree to go and pay the fee for opening the bank account. And also confirm that you've gone and read the terms of use. And once you've gone and done that, you'll click Open Bank Account. Once again, just make sure you've got the funds in your Global Unit Pay platform already so that it can just be, boom, sent straight out. Next slide, please. Cool. So the fees for IBAN setup for Euro and in Lithuania, so for SEPA IBANs, it'll be 125 euro. Okay. For the Liechtenstein SWIFT and SEPA, so you'll be able to go and do SEPA transfers through the Liechtenstein bank as well as SWIFT, right? That will be 250 euro. For USD, as your only option is for Liechtenstein, same with Swiss franc, it will be 300 US dollars as a one-time fee, and also 275 Swiss franc, of course, for Liechtenstein. And I did mention before as well that Liechtenstein IBAN's compatible for both SEPA and SWIFT euro currency transfers, which is why it's double the price as just a SEPA account in Lithuania, because you wouldn't go and have that SWIFT option. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, we've gone and done the bank account, we've gone and done digital assets, we've gone through all of the options that we can go and do to move funds from one part to another. But the big one that you're probably going to go and be using quite often is going to be the cards. Now, of course, we don't have the physical cards available just yet. We don't have a specific date in mind that I've at least been told about. I'm not sure whether anything's been said higher up. So I can't go and report anything new there, but when the information does come out, you'll be the first to know, guys. So from the bank account part of the dashboard, we want to scroll down once more, and we'll be met with the cards portion of the dashboard. So you won't go and have the virtual card just yet, or if you have, then you've already gone and set up, and this just makes more sense. You'll go and click the button that says Order New Card. Next slide, please. Cool. So currently, like I said, the only available option for cards are the virtual cards. And these are great for just doing the online transactions. In time, there will be options where the navy bubble that I've gone and put up next to virtual card will be located. So look for that in the platform once it goes and gets integrated. Now, once again, just ensure that you already have the funds available in your Global Unit Pay account to go and cover the setup fee, like we've done for the bank account, like we've done for the business account. But with a virtual card, it's only 10 euro as a one-time fee. And you can go and see that I've gone and set myself up with one. I've gone and ticked the box to confirm that I've read the terms of use. And I've also gone and highlighted just below in the small text. You might be able to read it, you might not. I'll read it out for you anyway. Helpful information. It says, order Global Unit Pay virtual card and use it instantly when making internet purchases. For in-person spending or ATM withdrawals, please visit the physical card page. You can always deactivate the virtual card at any time and purchase a new one. All right, that's completely up to you. Now, what we're going to go and do is we're going to move into the next slide, and I'm going to show you how that functions. Next slide, please. Hey, there we go. Lovely. So we've gone and set that card up, and then on the main dashboard, we'll just go and click the virtual card option, okay? So this is the panel for all card-related operations. For card info, let's just go into this one really, really quickly, because it is only going to take maybe half a minute to go and explain. This shows your card balance. It shows the type of card that you've got, which of course is just virtual, and also the status, because like we said, you can go and deactivate that, you can freeze that. It's completely up to you. From left to right, like I said, you have the option to actually show the full 16-digit card number by clicking just below where it says show details. That'll go and pop up. So it'll just go and show where the asterisks are. It'll actually come up with the 16-digit number, the expiry, and then also the CCV, which I think is dope. If an emergency occurs involving your card and you think it's been compromised, then you can freeze it by clicking freeze. And of course, if you no longer require the virtual card, like we went and mentioned before, you can also deactivate that card should you no longer require it, just by clicking that button that says deactivate. Really simple. Next slide, please. Cool. Awesome. So continuing from the last slide, let's move to top up. You want to go and enter in the desired amount you wish to add to your card from your available assets. Euro is the only compatible currency for topping up at the moment. So you will need to go and exchange USD or Swiss franc to Euro beforehand. Okay. And just note as well that there is a 2% top up fee on the amount to be loaded onto the card, which will be deducted automatically from the account. Okay. All you need to do there is you just have to go and click top up to finalize the operation. Next slide, please. Now, for withdrawing, this is only to go and withdraw from the balance on your card, because it is a prepaid card. Withdraw from the card into your Global Unit Pay asset portfolio, okay? And once again, it'll just go straight over to Euro. So continuing on, you want to go and enter in the desired amount, same as what we went and did for top up. And once again, just note that Euro is the only compatible currency at the moment. And also that there is still a 2% withdrawal fee on the amount to be withdrawn, okay? So it's 2% to go in and 2% to go out. That's the best way to go and describe it. Then once you're all done, and of course it will be deducted automatically, that fee, you just want to go and click withdraw, and that'll go straight over into your Global Unit Pay Euro portfolio. Next slide, please. Cool, almost done, ladies and gentlemen, almost done, okay? So, excuse me, below the cards part of the portfolio, of the dashboard, you want to go and scroll down just a little bit further. And what this is going to do is come to sort of like a transaction summary of the last 5 transactions that you've gone and made onto your Global Unit Pay account. Now that can go and be card top up, that can go and be a currency deposit, that can go and be a payment, that can go and be a currency exchange. And you'll also go and note as well that over to the right, you have sort of like a statistics snapshot of, you know, what invoices are pending, or what payments are pending, which ones are in progress, what ones have been completed, and which ones have been cancelled, because you can go and cancel anything that is still pending at any given time. Cool. Next slide, please. So for this part, we're going to go and click the little button that said see all transactions on the previous slide, just over to the right. You can't miss it. But this is your very own transaction searching feature, which can filter through, you know, your history, making it as easy and user-friendly for you to know exactly what and where the funds have been sent, received, or exchanged. And we're going to go through each and every single type of filter. So for the first one, you can go and enter in a date range. So if you have a feeling that there was a transaction that you're looking for from, say, the 16th of January, you'd go and enter in, you know, the date range for, say, the 10th of January through to the 31st of January, and it will come up with every single one of those transactions that have been made within your Global Unit Pay account. Once again, that goes down to exchanging, top-ups, any actions that were actually done through your Global Unit Pay account. Cool, beautiful. Next slide, please. We are going to move into the type of transaction. So if you know that it was a top-up, then you wouldn't have to go and do the date range. You could just go and click the type and then enter in top-up, or anything to do with your cards, or anything to go and do with the trading desk. Completely up to you. We've made this super user accessible and user friendly, so that anyone can go and know exactly what's going on within their Global Unit Pay account at any given time. That goes back to that security part of the presentation that we were talking about in the opening and verification, is that we want everything to go and be super legitimate, super transparent, and super secure, so that you know where your money is. Because at the end of the day, that's why you're using it, is because you're wanting to use a trusted platform as a medium point to go and control where your money's going, or whether you're receiving money. That's what we're all here for. Okay, so next slide, please. So the next part, I really like this feature, okay? So if you know that it is a Euro transaction, or a Bitcoin transaction, or an Ethereum transaction, then by all means, like, you know, you can go and narrow it down through the different sort of account. Now, you'll go and see the number that I've gone and put the number of 1. That's the card number. that's your card transactions. So you can go and choose anything to do with your card. You can go and do any of the digital assets. You can go and do the main fiat currencies as well. And also, if you can go and see, gold, silver, and platinum, which goes and says to me that very soon, that eventually that there will be the commodities and the precious metals available to go and purchase, the exact same as the digital assets as well, which is amazing. Next slide, please. And finally, all you need to go and do is the status of your transaction. So this is to go and search for what where the transactions were, whether it was failed or whether it's completed or whether it was in progress or cancelled. It's completely up to you. But of course, with any of these fields that you're entering in, these parameters, then all you need to do is that once you've narrowed it down as best as you possibly can, click the green button that says filter and it will automatically do it for you. Okay, next slide, please. Whew, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the final component of today's presentation. What we're going to go and do is click the button that says settings as pictured. This will be straight below the left-hand side summary of the digital assets, which you'll go and see there. So we'll move on to the next slide, please. Lovely. Now, we touched on this a little bit before, okay? So with your profile settings, this is where you're going to go and see a snapshot as to how your profile is actually displayed, okay? Number one, it will go and say that whether you're verified or not. Number two, it will go and say your address that you've got and registered within Global Unipay, not your email address, your residential address, and also your user ID, as well as the name that is attached to your Global Unipay account. It will also go and say what main currency and what language as well. And you can change these at any time. You can swap between Euro to USD, from USD to Swiss franc to Euro, completely up to you. You can also go and change the language as well. All right. So for also, if you haven't gone and attached a business account to your individual account, you do have that option here. You don't necessarily need to go up to the top right-hand corner of the dashboard that we originally were on. And of course, I do want to make note as well that for identity or passport changes, you must inform support. Cannot stress this enough. I said it at the start, it needs to go and be done as soon as the changes have been made. Next slide, please. Lovely. Okay, so this is your support dashboard. This is where you're going to see all correspondence that you've had between our support team. Now, you'll go and see that they went and sent me I sent them an email with the summarized banking account when I was doing my verification on the 22nd of January. That was for my residential address. You can also go and see my inquiry before I actually realized that the SMS authorization messages weren't actually coming through the phone. They were coming through to the email. So you can go and see all correspondence that I've gone and personally had, and it'll be the same for yourself. This is where you would go and use this dashboard to go and contact support with whichever. Next slide, please. Cool. So still going into the support ticket, this is how you go and do so. So it's really easy. It's just in 4 simple steps. Number 1, you're going to go and enter your subject or title matter. Number 2, where it goes and says the drop-down menu, okay, it'll go and say topic. And when you go and click topic, the arrow, where I've gone and had the arrow, will go and drop down to Global Unipay support, IT and security issues, payment issues, and onboarding issues. Okay, so once you've gone and outlined the issue and the matter, make sure to just explain the reason in the message component that you go and see at point number 3. And give as much detail as you possibly can. Make it super transparent, clear, and concise so that our support team can go and work quickly, efficiently, and effectively to go and get your matter resolved. Okay, And then, of course, if there are any documents that you need to provide, screenshots, or any related files that go with your matter, this is where you'll just drag and drop or upload. Okay. And once you've gone and completed your ticket, all you'll need to do is click the green button that says send message. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, this is your notification settings. This will go and give you email notifications when any of these actions are actually, taking place. I think it's really, really cool that you can go and personalize it. So if you're looking for every sign in to form an IP address, every fiat withdrawal, every crypto withdrawal, every fiat deposit, every crypto deposit, every sign-in notification, and of course, if you're wanting to go and receive an occasional newsletter email, then that is completely up to you. You can toggle whichever of those you would like. And in what order? It's completely up to you. You decide what notifications you're going to go and receive to your email. Next slide, please. Lovely. And finally, we're going to go into the security settings. Okay, so you want to go and click security, of course. And then where I've gone and highlighted number 2, this will go and give you the phone number that you've gone and attached to your Global UnitPay account, the email address, and you'll be able to go and change that as well. And of course, you're able to change your password at any given time you like. Okay. I would also recommend activating the Google Authenticator. I mean, we've gone and done so for Unitex. We've gone and done so for EvoRich. I'm pretty sure most coin vendors have got a Google Authenticator that you need to go and set up as well. It's just for your security. But I would highly recommend to go and activate that one. And of course, it actually has the details of your last login with the date, the browser, and the IP address recorded, so that you know exactly who and when the actually logged into your account. Because at the end of the day, this is protecting your wealth, which is amazing. Amazing. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, you've all got it asked, and we didn't have to go and include this one with this part of the presentation in there. This is a kind of a little bit of a bonus. We were getting a lot of questions about how to go and pair your Unitex with your Global UnitPay account. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, all right, pairing your Global UnitPay account with Unitex is actually super simple. All right. We're going to go and log into Unitex and go to the balances tab. You should all be familiar as to where the balance page on Unitex actually is. It's in the top left-hand corner. I believe it's the middle option. Okay. By clicking that, we're brought to this particular page on Unitex. So you can go and move either USD or Euro within Global UnitPay and Unitex freely, which works a wonder when you're trying to go and get that USDU. Everybody wants to get their World Crew conversion happening. I absolutely do as well, and I've done it in the past also. Okay, so now you can either go and do deposit, or you can go and click withdraw. This is just for the initial pairing that we're actually going to go into. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, I wasn't able to go and get the exact page because I'd already gone and paired my Global UnitPay account, but I do apologize. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to go and select, and say, for example, we've gone and done deposit. Okay. So we've gone and done deposit. It's brought us to this page. We can choose either Quantum Clearance or Global UnitPay. Awesome. That's what we're here for. So we're going to select Global UnitPay, and there's going to go and be a little box that goes and pops up to goes and says, please enter in your unique user ID. So you have to go into your Global UnitPay account, get your unique user ID, enter it in onto Unitex, and then go and hit pair. And then it'll just be instant transfers. constantly. You will never have to go and unpair it again. It only needs to go and be done once. And then from there, all you have to do is just enter in the desired transaction amount and quick deposit or withdraw, whichever option you went and chose, just noting that there is a 1.5% within the global unit pay option, as opposed to 7% with Quantum. I'd say that's an absolute win. Awesome. Next slide, please. Oh, beautiful. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. Now, I wanted to go and just do maybe a quick 5-10 minute question and answer for any questions relating to what you've seen this evening. Okay. So if there are any questions from any slides, now's the time to go and ask. I'm more than happy to go and stay back a little bit just so that I can clarify anything. Are there any questions relating to?
There is a question from the Italian chat.
Lovely. Hey, Olga.
Is there a back office only in English, or it is already available in other languages, including Russian, Italian, Spanish, and others?
If you give me 2 seconds, I will just double check. I know that there are multiple languages. I will just find out for you live on camera. Okay, hang on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you exactly what languages there are. Yeah. Okay, so we go into profile. Sorry, should have gone and included that in the slides. My apologies. There are other languages. I'm just logging in. While that's loading up, are there any other questions that I'll just go and turn to while the computer's waking up?
Yes, Aidan, remember we talked about the limit orders. Remember? So limit orders, and here there's a question like, is it possible to sell tokens?
Sell tokens.
Limit
Yes.
orders. I guess it says not tokens. It says like automatic sale.
Yes.
Yeah, because yeah, remember there was like buy limit orders, and now whether we can sell by putting limit orders.
No, you can't go and do limit orders for selling, only through buying. But what you can do is you can watch the market value, the market price that they're offering, or that is being offered, and select, which goes and refreshes every 15 seconds.
So also there is one more question. It's very long, but I will try to give you the like nutshell of it. Okay. So basically the question is, to whom does the website GUP belong to? And if it belongs to our company, then why can't I work on the website without being verified? Because the KYC officers denied me verification, and then they did not even allow me to work on the website without verification.
Okay. Well, number one, the KYB team isn't Global Unit Pay. It's not us. This is our website. This is our platform. This is our project. This is our payment gateway. This is within the Evo Rich global portfolio. It's not owned by anybody else. It's ours. we have been partnered with Bitnark because it's within the Switzerland jurisdiction, and that's how primarily we've been able to go and do this so quickly, so easily. But the reason with any verification is actually done through Global Pass, which is not EvoRich. It's not Global Unit Pay. It's a completely separate entity that we go and use as the KYC and the KYB team to go and make sure that every single account is going to go and be authentic and legitimate. If there are any issues with onboarding, then by all means, go into your Global Unit Pay account, go into the support tickets and actually designate a support ticket for onboarding itself and explain what's actually gone and happened. Of course, you'll have to provide your unique user ID, provide your email address, and be just transparent and honest as to what's gone and happened, what the actions were actually told, whether you received any correspondence from Global Pass or Global Unit Pay support team, whichever, and they'll be able to go and sort that. But Global Pass is not Global Unit Pay. Global Unit Pay is definitely within EvoRich. Global Pass is not. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, well, we're waiting for their answer. So there are two questions more. So whether when the Russian...
1 second, Dennis. I've just got to go and respond to the question that Olga translated. At this current point in time, within our Global Unit Pay back office, there is only English. However, Chrome does go and have an automatic translation setting, which you can go and use to go and translate it to the preferred language of your choice. Hope that helps. Yeah, Dennis, hit me.
Well, I guess this answers the first question of the second partner, because he was asking whether the interface is going to be translated into Russian.
I would imagine
so. Basically,
so.
Eventually, like professionally translated or like Google translated.
I wouldn't be able to go and say when or if that would go and happen. If I was a betting man, I'd go and say that it very well could. It's a high possibility that it will be professionally translated, but I can't go and say yes or no for that.
And the second question is whether it will be possible to withdraw our profits from the exchange through Global Unit Pay and to the banks, bank cards, not through the virtual card, but the bank cards in the Russian Federation or bank accounts in the Russian Federation. And if so, then what would be the total commission for the entire journey, from the Unitex to the eventual bank card account or bank account?
I wouldn't know the Unitex one off the top of my head, but once this presentation goes onto YouTube, definitely go back into the slides where I was talking about transferring money out of Global Unit Pay, because you can definitely go and move it to any single bank account, so long as you have the corresponding IBAN or SWIFT number and all the right details, then yes, absolutely. We're not one of those cowboy companies that want to go and keep all the funds, within our platform and never go and let you, go and withdraw to other financial institutions. That's not why we're here, and that's why we're so strict on the security, on the authenticity, and making sure that everything's done the right way, so that this is a long living project that doesn't go and have any bad omens to its name. We want to do things with the right integrity, because there are so many companies that you go and hear horror stories of people having, massive amounts of fortune, but within one platform, and they can't go and withdraw it into another. That's not us. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, then this a guy who was asking about the verification in Global Unit Pay is saying that no, you did not answer my question, and he's demanding access to the Global Unit Pay website using email address, which was blocked by the KYC officer.
Huh. Okay. I know that there's a new process with KYC and KYB. We are working on the presentation to go and update it because it has definitely gone and changed. Was this done through the new setup, or was this done? Oh, sorry, the new onboarding process, or one of the older onboarding process?
He said like half a year ago. It all started half a year ago.
And things have been updated and streamlined a lot since then. I would go and set up another account, go through the onboarding process again, start from scratch. If you've been blocked from your account, then you know you're going to need to. Otherwise, if you're running into any further issues, I'm trying to think of the best way to go. And if you can speak to Valentin or Marshall, they'll be able to go and have the right communications within the platform and the KYC team to actually go and get to the bottom of that issue. It's a case-by-case sort of basis. So not everyone's going to go and have the same onboarding troubles, but it was something that we were noting that, you know, there was a lot of rejections that maybe just didn't necessarily need to have. So we've gone and streamlined it and made it a little bit more user accessible from there, especially since we've gone and updated the back office platform. Does that answer the question? I hope that's answered the question. I just want to go and say as well, guys, is that, you know, for the last 6 months, we've been able to go and create a payment gateway that has got two, you know, countries banking, you know, partners to actually work with us. We've been able to build this so quickly, and it is still in its infancy. This is not going to be the finished result, okay? And whenever you know, something goes and changes, or if there's an improvement that you want to go and see, you know, within the platform, then we're very open to suggestions. You know, Valentin, Marshall, and myself, you know, whatever feedback you want to go and provide us, please do provide us so that we can go and make this platform the best and something that is for the people as well as by the people as well. Because at the end of the day, if you've got World Crew, you're shareholders of this Global Unipay platform. You know? So while it might be a little bit of a headache at the moment, this isn't the final form. This isn't the final product. This is just what it is now. And to be able to go and do something within, you know, 6 or 8 months is amazing. It's amazing. We're doing the best that we can with what we have and what we know, and we're going to get better. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go and wrap it up for this evening. Thank you so much for your attention. If you do have any questions, please do pop in for another presentation in a fortnight's time. We'll be doing this exact same one. But once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great morning, have a great day, and have a great evening. This is me off. Marshall will be doing his presentation tomorrow at the same time, same place, and we'll see you there. Thank you again.